Hey everybody, and welcome to the Get Speaking English Coffee and Crossword stream. My name is Axel, and while we wait for the stream to begin, let me quickly explain how this activity works and give you some information that will help you do it. So, during the stream, we will go through a crossword similar to the one you see on the screen right now. I'm going to guide the conversation by letting you know which question will work on when. I'm going to explain the question to you, maybe give you some definitions, and then I'm going to give you additional clues, other information, hints, maybe some images to help you figure out the answer with me. So, when you think you know an answer, go ahead and put it in the chat. You'll be able to participate on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. The addresses are all available on the screen. So don't be shy. If you think you know an answer, put it in the chat. And when I see a correct answer, I will add it on the board and we will fill out the crossword together that way. So before we begin though, there are a few important rules that you should know specifically about this stream so we could all have a good time. So my first major rule is no cheating. So don't use the internet unless I tell you to. So we could Google the answers if we want or use websites. We're not going to do that though. We're going to work together instead. So please do not use the internet unless I tell you to do so. Secondly, please follow the conversation. So for example, if we are talking about question number 3, don't start talking about question 19. Also, too, please be patient. We may take some detours along the way. I love to talk about additional vocabulary, phrases, other things that are related to what's in the crossword. So just please be patient. Try to stay with the group and don't ruin it for others. Finally, please be nice to one another. Like I said, you'll be able to participate on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube. But let's create a nice, friendly learning environment where people feel like they can participate without judgment and have a good time. So those are my main rules for playing this game. Now I'm going to give you some additional information specifically about this crossword to help you complete it. So the first useful thing to know is that this is an American crossword. So that means that American spelling and vocabulary is going to be used. So you can see on the screen right now some differences between American and British spelling. There are many others. This is just a small sample of some of the differences. There are also differences in the choice of vocabulary, in some of the phrases, some of the slang is different. So usually this crossword uses American English. It's also worth knowing that any of the trivia is usually about the United States, so about American history, American geography. However, we won't need to know much trivia. Thankfully, the majority of the questions in this crossword are about language, they're about English, so we won't need to know a lot about trivia. It's also really helpful to know that the answers match the questions. So the answers will always use the same type of word and the same word form as the word in the question. So for example, if there is a plural in the question, there will be a plural in the answer. If there's an abbreviation in the question, there will be an abbreviation in the answer. So all of that is extremely helpful. Sometimes you will see me put little S's or EDs in places, and that's just good information for us to know to fill out the board faster. Keep that in mind too when you are answering, that your answer should always use the same type of word and the same word form as the question. Also, multiple word answers are okay in this crossword. So sometimes the answer could be a phrasal verb, maybe part of a common phrase or an idiom, part of a sentence. Some of the longer ones are titles of books, titles of movies. This crossword does not indicate when something is a multiple word answer. However, I am usually quick to spot them. I will let you know if something is a multiple word answer, but do keep in mind when you are thinking about the answers to the questions that multiple word answers are possible. Finally, too, because we are here to review English, we're here to learn new words and vocabulary as well. It's important to know that there are words in this crossword that we can't really use in real life. So some of the words are just archaic, they're outdated, they're old-fashioned. Some of them are very formal or used only in very specific contexts. I will try to let you know if you can't use something, and I'll try to give you an alternative expression instead. I'll also let you know when you could use something in a specific context, but do keep that in mind, that there are words in this crossword that even I, as a native English speaker, would never use in real life during a conversation. Anyway, so that's it. Like I said, don't be shy. Go ahead, jump in. The more you participate, the faster this crossword will go, so I do appreciate your help. Also, don't hesitate to ask questions about any of the words we talk about or any of the phrases we discuss. I always love having a good language discussion, so put your questions in the chat. I will try to address them. Finally, if you enjoyed this activity, please give this video a thumbs up. Also consider subscribing to the channel or following my Facebook page so you don't miss any future streams. Also, please tell other people about this stream. The more people we can get out, the better. It grows the community, and it will let me host even more free live streams, free events, and other additional affordable group activities for English learners. So thanks so much for being here. I really appreciate you being here, and I love when you participate. And get ready, because we are going to start soon. Hello, everyone. I think. Good morning. I think I'm here. I hope I'm working. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Axel. Welcome to the stream. If you're out there, I don't think there's anybody right now. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the little video at the beginning of the stream. I thought that would be a little bit more efficient than constantly explaining how this works every single time. So I'm gonna put it up on YouTube, I think, so I can refer people to it once we get started as well, so they can go back and watch it at any point in time and learn how to play. Anyways, I think I'm working here, hopefully. All right. So, yeah, so like I said, we are going to go through this crossword today. We're going to go through, work at this together. Feel free to say hello in the chat. I'm live right now on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. You can play in any one of those places, and I have the chats open, so I will be able to see your comments and all of those good things. And don't be shy. I like when people participate. So that's really good. All right, well, I guess we could just get started then. It's a little weird not having to explain how this works, but that's good. I wanted this to be more efficient. So here we go. Anyways, oh, also too, if you happen to be watching this just afterwards, I'm going to be back later today for the PM stream. I'm trying to get a sense of when people are around, if it's better for me to do things in the morning or is it better for me to do things at night. I always tend to do things early in the morning, my time, because that's when people in Europe are around. But I'm wondering if doing things late at night are better. Anyways, all right. So let's get right to it. I did look at this a little bit today. Oh, this is actually yesterday's crossword as well, since I needed one to do tonight. So I'm saving today's crossword for tonight. It is not too difficult. There were some difficult parts in this, actually. So maybe we should start at a different, quadrant than usual. Usually I start up in the top right-hand corner, but it was a little, it was kind of a tricky one, I thought. So, I mean, I guess we can start up here. All right. I'll do what I usually do. I'll start up here. But let's do this one here. To bring in a chord. So to be in a chord. To be in a chord. What the heck does that mean? To be in a chord. I should change this. You guys can see it. All right. So to be in a chord, what does that mean? That means that, you know, you're on the same page as someone else. And you're like, what the heck does that mean? It means that you basically think the same way about something. Right? So if we're thinking about the same way about something with someone else, you know, you have similar viewpoints, right? So here, whatever the heck this is, I think we would say that maybe you could agree with somebody else, right? So I'm gonna put agree in here. I'm gonna put agree in here. And again, too, I'm gonna go probably a little bit quicker unless I see people sort of milling around. And I'm going to commit to at least an hour of this. I'll do an hour. I'll do an hour of this. But if nobody's gonna show up and nobody's gonna play, then I'm gonna go. So I have other things I need to do. All right. Anyways, so we're gonna agree if we are in a chord. Yeah, you agree with somebody else. And a little bit of a, actually some information about this, because I often hear students make a mistake with this. So people will, it's very common for people to say, I am not agree. But because I think that is how it works in many other different, in several different languages, where it's more like an adjective. But no, in English, agree is its own verb. So to agree with something or someone, it is a verb, and because of that, we need to use an auxiliary. So it's I don't agree. For example, we would not say I am not agree. No, we would say I don't agree. We could say I am not in agreement, you know, about something, for example, or I'm not in agreement about this, or with you. I am not in agreement with you, you know, about this, for example. But we would never say I am not agree. That is very incorrect. So if you have that habit, be sure that you start swapping it out with the correct form, which is I don't agree. And also we don't say I am agree as well. It's just I agree, I don't agree. Do you agree? Do you not agree with me? So it's very important to keep those forms correct. So I hear those all the time. Storybook monster. So storybook monster. What are these big guys? The type of monster that, wasn't it? Shrek was one of these something, G something something. I'm gonna get a picture. Put in the chat. Very common monster in various video games as well, like World of Warcraft and stuff. I'm not a really big gamer. I just know it's one of those. It's one of the races that you can play. What are these guys? These big green guys. This is an ogre. Alright, so I'm gonna put ogre in here. Put some ogres in here. That happening. Alright, what else do we have here? So carpet fastener. Yeah, I think we could do this one. So carpet, what the heck is a carpet? The carpet. This is a type of flooring. Which is basically, you know, like whatever the floor is made out of in a house or in a building. So flooring, we can call like whatever the different floor is, flooring. So, you know, hardwood floor, for example. Tile is an example. You could have ceramic flooring. And here, carpet is kind of a type. It's a sort of basically a covering, sort of a fabric covering, kind of like a rug. It could also be like a rug, like just a section. But we can also do it where it just covers the floor completely. Like here. Here is an example of, it's like a little office, maybe a little waiting room or something. And here you can see that the floor is covered with this textured, fabric-y, whatever the heck that is. So this is carpet. So this floor is covered in carpet. I hope I'm working right, because usually there are people. But I guess I also didn't make a post this week saying I'd be around. I was very busy this weekend. So I know I've not been the most reliable streamers lately. Anyway, so this floor covering is covered in carpet, and there are things that they typically use to put the carpet down with. Similar to anything that you would, you know, use for building material, right? But they're typically put down with, sort of these little guys. They'll have these, like, these strips of, wood, and then you, like, kind of put the carpet to this thing, and then you fasten them with, well, you can see it here, these little metal things that we might use to connect one thing to something else. So those are nails. So let's put nail in here. Oh no, it's not nail. It's a different word. Alright, well, you could use nails. No, I think there's a more specific word for this, actually, now that I think about it. Because they're typically, like, little short ones, actually. Sometimes they're shorter. Here we go. We're looking for something that's similar to a nail, but they're a little, like, slightly shorter. You can see, like, these ones. Similar to the little push pins you might use on a bulletin board. I gotta get a picture of a bulletin board. You know, like one of the ones that you would use in school, maybe. Here we go. Here's a bulletin board, and we can see right here the little pins that you use to stick things fast to the bulletin board. Anyways, those things like this, both of these things are called tacks. I think tack is actually the word that's gonna go in here. So I'm gonna put tack here. All right, so I almost got fooled. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that that is attack, cause yeah, I think that this will work out better if that says attack. Pharmacy item. What is a pharmacy? The pharmacy is a place where you would go to get medicine, right? It's a place you go to get medicine. For example, if you had, you know, colds or something like that, or maybe you went to the doctor and then they gave you, you know, they give you the little piece of paper that's called a prescription. So prescription, piece of paper you get from the doctor that says what you're supposed to get. Anyways, I think we're looking for a word, basically a synonym for, you know, medicine, right? Sort of like a type of medicine, maybe so that you would take and have some sort of effect on it, right? So pharmacy item, and just 1, 2. Usually you would get potentially some of these in you know, mass, like in multiple items, right? You would get, you know, a whole pill bottle filled with things like this, for example, this little pill bottle filled with pills here. But I think drug is gonna be our answer. Drug is, so you would get a drug at the pharmacy. Okay, so let's put that in here. Yeah, that looks good. Because our gunpowder holder is going to be a keg. A keg also is something that you might brew beer in. So not just for holding gunpowder, but also for brewing beer or other types of alcohol, like whiskey and brandy. I don't know exactly, but other types of things. Okay, so that goes there. Anyways, let's keep going. Hollered. All right. So we're looking for the word. It's going to be a past form. We can see here that we have an ed here. So this is the past form of the verb. So we know that whatever this is going to be the past form of the verb, I think, here. And what does it mean to holler at someone? So to holler at someone, I hope I spelled that right. Yeah, hollered at someone. So to holler at someone basically means to kind of speak at them very, very loudly, with a very loud voice. So to holler at someone, to yeah, say something to someone at a very loud voice. So with a lot of volume, basically, right? Maybe somebody is way across on like the other, I don't know, side of the room or something like that, and you would project your voice. You would say it very loudly. That's what it means to holler at something. So this word here, this answer here, we're looking for something very, very similar. So that would mean to, you know, said something very loudly at someone else. of similar to like, you know, shouted, right? You could like shout at someone. That is also sort of a way, a communication style that is very loud, right? Typically something we'll do to get somebody's attention, right? But I think this one is going to be yelled. All right, yelled. So I'll put that there. Put that there. And let's see what else we can do here. Oh, exactly. Actually, I think I kind of know what this is, but I don't know enough of it about it to like explain it. But I think that word is toddy. It's like a type of it's like a, I guess it's like a spiced rum drink. Looks like there's a bunch of recipes for it. I've never had one, although it looks like it's pretty good actually. And like now that I'm looking at it, it looks like something that I may enjoy. Rum is a type of alcohol, I should say, as well, in case you are not aware. So rum is a type of alcohol. But this is a toddy, and I believe that, oh, this is an alcohol-free option. Look at that recipe. But yeah, I think this is gonna be toddy. And anyways, I'm gonna keep going. Middling card. Oh, let's do this one. So to tell a tale. Tell a tale. What exactly is a tale? A tale is often, it's like a story, right? Potentially one that you may, I mean, a story could be, you know, something you would tell to a child, right? A tale is not necessarily true, right? So a story which is not necessarily true, right? So we could have, you know, tales told, passed down from generation to generation to you teach things or to pass on history and things like that, right? So, you know, that's sort of a style of tale, right? But also too, you know, books for children, those kind of stories, right? Sometimes they are fantasy, right? Fantasy tales, that sort of thing. Also maybe sometimes in novels and things like that. But we could also think about, you know, if you tell tales though, we're talking about, you know, saying things that are not necessarily true, which I think is the sort of the key thing to think about for this question. So, tell tales. So, to say things which are not true. So we're looking for a verb, basically, to not tell the truth, basically, to give inaccurate information on purpose, right? Right, inaccurate information on purpose. If we do something on purpose, that means we do it intentionally. Anyways, if we're gonna not tell the truth, or we're going to tell tales, we're gonna lie. I think lie is gonna be the word that goes in here. In another way we could refer to that, obviously, is to tell tales. So tell tales means to lie. Okay, what else do we have here? Our grove makeup. This grove comes up often whenever we do crosswords. So the makeup, we mean the components of something in this case. So, oops. Oh, what did I do? Okay, there we go. So the makeup of something just means, like, you know, the components of something. Kind of a funny way to refer to that. So, and we know that a grove is a sort of a cluster of something where something specific grows. So a grove is a place where a type of vegetation, let's say, grows in a group. So I'm going to get a little bit of a picture so we can be on the same page. And if you think that you know what the makeup is, put it in the chat. Here is a nice picture of a little grove here. Picture of a grove here. We can see we have this little cluster of whatever those things are. I'm gonna get another picture as well. Another example. Example here of another cluster of all of these things growing together. You'll notice that they are all the same type of tree. So, oops, there you go. So these are all the same type of tree. And it's like something going on here. There we go. All right. So I think, yes, okay. We don't need that. There you go. All right. Now we're set up. All right. So our grove makeup. Groves are usually made of trees, and so you can have wild groves like we see on the screen right now. We could also plant groves of, you know, fruit trees, for example, like orange groves, apple groves, and harvest, so they're, you know, easy for growing fruit. Olive groves. Anyways, an area where there are a lot of trees of the same type kind of planted together in a cluster. Okay. What else do we have here? A Norwegian inlet. Norwegian inlet. And work. Week's end. Okay. Norwegian inlet. Oh, these are really beautiful. But let's talk about what an inlet is for a second. An inlet is something that you would find next to the ocean. I'm gonna get a picture here so I can kind of get a good little picture. They're kind of like these regions of where you know, places around the coast that kind of go in, and then they're sort of slightly maybe surrounded by mountain, like parts of like land that come out of the water. So here, for example, here is an inlet. Although this is kind of in Canada, but you can see how the water kind of comes in, and it's sort of surrounded here by, like, partially by land, right? Here's maybe another picture as well. We can see here a different kind of inlet, but also how like the body of water is kind of partially surrounded by some land. So that is an inlet. So we're looking for the classic Norwegian ones, and whatever those are called. They're really big, beautiful ones. I'm gonna get a picture. We can see that it ends in an RD. Ends in an RD. I googled the wrong thing. But here we go. Here's a really beautiful picture of one of these in Norway. So these beautiful little areas of water that are sort of surrounded by these mountains, these cliffs, right? Really beautiful, really great. These are called fjords. So fjords, but the spelling is interesting. Very interesting. Because it sounds like fjord, like a E sound, fjord, but the spelling is gonna be F-J-O-R-D, so fjord. So that's how we spell that. So kind of an interesting one. So fjord there. All right. What else do we got here? So this is a reminder. So if nobody's gonna play, I'm gonna give this another half an hour, and then I'm gonna go. All right. But what else do we have here? I wonder if it's a holiday. Is it a holiday today? I don't know. Quite uncommon, very uncommon. Actually, we can do this one, this work. So this WK is short for week here. So WK here, this is an abbreviation for week. And that's gonna give us a clue here. So you remember in my instructions at the beginning of this live that the answers always match the question. They always use the same type of word in the same word form. So this is an abbreviation. So we know that our answer is also going to be an abbreviation. So something, something, something. So in this case, we're looking for the end, the last day of the work week. And of course we mean like the Western work week, because I know that it's a little different in other parts of the world. But this in the Western work week, typically the work week is what? Monday through Friday, right? And we would refer to those days as work weekdays. Sorry. So weekdays. One word, weekdays. So Monday through Friday are weekdays, and then the weekend is typically Saturday and Sunday. So the last day of the week would be Friday, and the abbreviation would be FRI. So let's put that in there. Let's see if we can get this one. So quite uncommon. Not up, gotcha. So quite uncommon. Something that is quite, we mean a lot, right? Or at least to like a fairly large degree, right? Right, so you know, for example, if I said it was quite noisy last night, you know, maybe like a little less noisy than very noisy, but it was still noticeably noisy, right? So not noisy enough for it to be very noisy, right? Which would be, you know, extremely loud, basically. But notably noisy, you know. Anyways, so and something uncommon, right? Something, it's the opposite of something common. Something common is something we see all the time. Something uncommon is something we don't see all the time. So we can see here, starts with an R, ends with an E, 2 more letters for something that is uncommon, and we're looking for an adjective, right? For something that is not very common at all, right? So I would say probably this is going to be rare. Something rare is going to be not common, very uncommon. So let's put that in here. All right. Now what else can we do here? Da, 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 da. I think we could let's do this one so we can fill this in faster. So not up. So we can think about up as being a direction, right? Like up in the sky, for example, right? The opposite there would be down, right? So the opposite of not up could be down, right? But I think we're actually here thinking about something else, because we also might refer to somebody being up as awake, right? So awake versus sleeping, right? So this, I think, is going to be like a two-word answer. Something, something, something. Basically, way to say someone is not awake, right? So to say that they are sleeping. So there's kind of a common, there's sort of a common phrase that we would use here to say that somebody is sleeping, usually for the evening, right? Or maybe they're sick as well too, but they're in the covers, they're under the covers, right? We might say that somebody is in bed. So if they're not up, they're in bed. In bed. All right, so in bed is typically what we would say. Not to be, because sometimes people will say, well, people sometimes confuse how to talk about the bed, right? So, you know, we'll say to go to bed. You go to bed, right? As in you go to sleep, basically. No article is not go to the bed. We might say go to the bed if we're trying to direct somebody, but go to bed here, sort of as a location word, means to go so you can sleep, right? And then we might say to get in bed means to go under the covers. So to go under the covers or the blankets in preparation for sleep, right? And if somebody is in bed, they are under the covers, they are sleeping, right? Because sometimes I hear people say, you know, on bed, right? Or, you know, need to go to get on bed. We wouldn't say that. We, you know, be on the bed. But if you're on the bed, you are on top of the bed. And you are not under the blankets. So you would sit on the bed, for example. So you would sit on the bed, for example, but you would lie in bed under the covers. So that's kind of the difference between how we talk about the bed and the different correct uses of all the prepositions and things like that, because I know it can be very tricky to learn all of those little details, but they're important ones. All right. Oh, what else do we got here? Letter stroke. This is probably going to be maybe not a new word, because I think we are all familiar with fonts, like fonts, right? Fonts are the refers to the different style of lettering when you are typing on a computer, right? So the different style of lettering for you know, of the alphabet on the computer, right? And a stroke typically refers to like the way that, you know, the pen might go or something like that. So sort of how we're talking about, like how the letter is made, basically. Like here, for example, this person, we can see this person is writing, he's making pen strokes on the paper, right? So this letter stroke here, we're talking about how the letter is written, basically. So letter stroke, you know, how the letters are written. Anyways, how the letters are written. So there's a couple different styles of fonts, right? We can see we have this font that I'm using right now to talk on this, to type to you on the screen with. It's very simple, right? Doesn't have any little decorative elements, right? But some of them, font, you know, just a second. But some fonts have little things added to them. I'm just gonna see if I can. I'm gonna try to change the font here. Let's do this one, or let's do a classic Roman Times Roman if I can get it. There we go. We can see this one here. You see the difference between those two fonts? How this one doesn't have any of the little thingies on it, whereas this one does. They have like the little extra things on the letters, right? This one too has the little extra little things. We're looking for the name of this little extra decoration, basically. So it starts with an S. So it starts with an S. We can see. So if you know what it is, let me know. Sometimes too, the font will even say it. I guess it doesn't say it in Google Docs. That's what I'm using. I'm using Google. But sometimes, though, fonts will say, you know, with this thing or sans whatever this thing is. So this little decorative element, this is actually called a serif. And so you might see fonts sometimes being described as sans serif, which basically means without the little decorations. Like this font is an example of a sans serif font, whereas these fonts are examples of fonts with serifs. So I'm gonna put serif in here. That's what those are called. And we're gonna move on to the next one in a second. All right, there you go. Dun, dun, dun. Gun as a motor. What else do we have here? Writing tool. Oh, this is easy. Our little writing tool. Let's go back up here. We're looking for the name of whatever the heck this is. Maybe not this specific type of thing, because this is a very specific type of writing implement. A lot of the ones that we use in our day-to-day lives are a lot simpler, right? Like this one is a different style of that, whatever that is. Trying to see if I have other ones kicking around. But we're looking for, yeah, the name is something you would write with. Our tool. 3-letter word. For whatever the heck one of these are. Basically, I hope you can see this. Check. Yes. Whatever these are. I think this is going to be a pen, right? So pen is going to be our writing tool. Put that in here. I'm gonna skip this one because I'm not sure if I can explain it. What else do we have here? What else do we have here that we can do really quickly? Let's do this little. Let's go. We're gonna go back up here again. Our middling chord. We're talking about playing cards here. Playing cards. The heck are playing cards? Playing cards are the ones that you would use to play card games. So this, for example, is a deck of playing cards, or just a deck of cards, really simply, but we would call them playing cards. That would be the full name of what we call those that we use to play different card games. And middling card, I don't know the specific names of all of the cards, but I think we can just kind of do an educated guess here. A middling card, which is not a word I would use, but we can see the word middle in here, right? So I think we're looking for a card that's kind of in the middle, right? Right, between, you know, 2 and ace, basically, which would be like the, or 1. Is there a 1? No. Yeah, 2. 2 and ace. So kind of in the middle, right? And we can see here that we have a I in this word, right? Something, I, something. So there's not too many, there are not too many numbers that can fit there, right? Not too many numbers that are gonna fit in that gap. So I have a funny feeling that this middling card, whatever this is going to be 6. That would be my guess. So let's put 6 in here, because why not? Do it that way. And let's keep moving on. So again, like I said, if you want to participate, feel free to participate in the chat. Please do not be shy. Otherwise, I am going to give this about 15 more minutes, and then I'm gonna go, I think. So, or 10 minutes even, because I see it's getting there. All right. Let's see here. Rhythmic sound. Our mouse sound. Whatever a mouse, the sound that a mouse makes. So we're all on the same page. A mouse is it's a type of an animal. I googled it and I got like a million pictures of these, but the mouse is actually one of these little guys, these little, right? Usually they are considered pests, right? A pest being like, a pest being something that sort of like an unwanted animal that's considered sort of destructive, or, you know, mice might carry diseases and things like that. You know, something you don't want around, right? But there is a sound that this animal makes. There's a sound. So there is a sound that the mouse makes. I think I have enough letters. Yeah, sound that the mice makes, right? Because they make this really high-pitched little noise, right? The high-pitched sound that they make, right? So we would say that a mouse squeaks. So they squeak. So I think squeak is going to be our word. Like that. Squeak. So we got that one there. Got some squeakiness happening. Hedge. Unit. Da, da, da. Yes. Okay, hedge unit. What is a hedge? A hedge, a hedge, a hedge. So our hedge is... It's sort of a landscaping feature. So a hedge is a landscaping feature. I'm gonna get a picture here just really quickly. They're kind of like little short trees, right? That you sort of plant. Well, you can see here. So this is a hedge, okay? So this is a hedge. Right? So this is a hedge, and you plant basically a series of they're almost like mini trees. Basically, tiny trees. And you plant them next to each other, and then they sort of grow together, and then you can cut them, you can shape them so they kind of look all uniform and nice. That's typically what might happen. So we're basically looking for the word for one of these individual plants, whatever the heck these are called. So as something, 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 something. So the name of one of the plants that makes up I think I just gave it away. I can't see what I'm typing. I have a problem. So what is one of the plants that makes up a hedge, right? One of the little individual bushes, right? Now, there is a specific name for them. Well, we could say a bush, right? But another one too. Here's an image of the little individual ones, so they're not close enough to be as a hedge, but we can see the individual plants, right? One by one. Looking for the name of whatever the heck this is. Whatever it is. We can see it starts with an S. So these things, these little individual trees, these little individual bushes are called shrubs. So I think a shrub is going to be our shrub unit. All right, what else do we got here? Capital of Italia. We know that that's Rome, right? But since this is Italia, certain in Italian, let's put Roma there. Put it also in Italian so it matches. Our sales goal. So if you work in sales, right? So, you know, business and sales, right? Or marketing and sales, right? So something to do with business. To do with the business of selling things, right? You probably will have goals, right? You probably will have to meet goals. Or targets, right? Basically, like you have to, there is a set number or maybe a set amount of money you need to make. So a set amount of money you need to make, or maybe a set number of sales you need to do, right? In order to keep your job, basically. And there's another word that we might use for that. So basically another word that just basically means a fixed amount for something basically that you are, a fixed amount that you are either, you know, officially allowed to use maybe, but in this case that you have to meet. So you have to meet this number in order to keep your job, basically. So we can see that there's a Q in here. So Qs are always helpful, right? Because in English, Qs usually, like always, they always have a U, right? So we can put a U in here. We know that much, right? And we just need the rest of this. So I think that that is going to be quota. Quota is going to be the name of that limit. You have to fill a sales quota. Let's get a specific amount of sales that you have to do in order to keep your job. All right. Rhythmic sound. Oh, I see. This here is kind of like I don't know, like a rhythmic sound. I suppose it could be a sound kind of more like a low pitched, well, maybe low pitched, but sort of like a steady sound. A steady sound that somebody might make also. It's sort of like if you were to sing but with your mouth closed, like whatever that action is. We would call that a hum. So I'm gonna put hum in here. Hum, and a hum could also refer to, yeah, sort of like any sort of ongoing, sort of continuous low sound, right? So they say rhythmic here. I don't know why they say rhythmic here, but it could also, and obviously too, this is a noun, but to hum, because we could use it as a verb as well, means to make a continuous low sound, but it also means to basically sing without opening your mouth like I did there in the example. All right, let's do this here. Inquire. What does it mean to inquire? It means to get more information about something. Basically, to get more information about something, right? So maybe additional details. Maybe you would pose some questions about something. Basically, we're looking for an alternative verb, very common verb, to talk about, you know, posing questions, right? Get information, to pose questions about something, to get information, and this is kind of not a super common way, but I think I got it. Yes, that's very formal. To pose questions about something is almost a inquire about things in a very formal way. This is a very this is a collocation, but it is not a common collocation. It's much more common to say that you would ask questions, right? If you are inquiring about something. So let's put ask in here. Gotta put that in here, and then we're gonna do this one really quickly, and then I think I'm gonna go this here, the seal. What is a seal? A seal is an animal. Seal is an animal. I'm gonna get a picture. Seal is an animal. Seal is one of these guys. That one's cute. And they also make a noise. They make a noise. And we can see part of the name of the noise here. B, A, something. K. We might say that the noise that they make, you know, the noise is very similar to the noise a dog makes as well, too. We would also say that a dog makes this noise. So both seals and dogs make this noise. So we might say that a seal barks. So bark is gonna be our answer here. All right, and 2023 #1 hit for Taylor Swift. I don't listen to Taylor Swift. But it looks like this might be summer. And like cruel maybe? Cruel summer? If I were to guess. Anyways, if you think you know, put in the chat. And Oklahoma neighbor, this looks like it could be Texas. Texas, oops. Cover part. Shelf, maybe? Like the individual little things in here. Let's see how like fast I can fill this out. With nobody here. Uniform material, khaki. My filmmaker, I don't know. At any time ever. Anyways, I appreciate people coming out to other streams. Tick off, irk. To tick somebody off means to make somebody really mad. You make them extremely angry, and we might also say that you would irk someone. So irk is not as common, but that also means to make somebody kind of really mad. Side here, I think we are talking about the side of a body. So, you know, even the side of the seal here, right? So sort of down along the rib cage area. That's gonna be a flank. So flank refers to that area, sort of like along the side, sort of along the belly. A best quality, maybe finest, the finest quality gun as a motor. You would rev a motor, so you would give it gas, so it makes that loud noise. A foot or a fathom are both units of measurement. A fathom is not a common unit of measurement. In fact, I have no idea how far a fathom is, but a foot definitely is a common unit of measurement, at least in I was gonna say freedom units. Anyways, yeah. In standard, not metric. Anyways. Let's see, what else we have? We have our sky saucer, or our sky saucer. A saucer is usually it's like a disc, typically a disc that you might use for putting a teacup on top of or something like that. But we might also refer to UFOs as flying saucers. So those would be flying saucers that you would see in the sky. Is in the red. If we say that somebody is in the red, they typically owe money. They are in debt. So is in the red. So, and we can see here too, is conjugated. So owes, this is also going to be conjugated third person singular. So owes. Coarse cry. Coarse here I think is referring to golf. And so there is this thing that people will say when they hit the ball, they will go 4. So I think that that's what this is going to be. And note the spelling here. It's different from the spelling of the number 4. But I think that's right. Might be wrong. I think that's right though. What else do we have here? We have lugs, right? So to lug something means to carry something, typically kind of heavy. We might also say that you tote something as well too. And in fact, I don't know if you, there are bags actually that we specifically call tote bags. They're typically like the larger ones. I'm gonna share like a picture here of what a tote bag might look like. Here is a tote bag, right? So sort of larger, good for lugging things. from point A to point B, but that is where we, that is where we get the word tote from. So lugs here is going to be totes. We have our English county. It's going to be a shire. High follower is row, I think. Anyways. A train stops. Train stops are going to be depots. Those are sort of these, kind of another word for a station. The depot could also be the place where the buses go sort of at the end of the day, and they're kind of kept there to be used the next day, that sort of thing. A sock part, probably going to be the toe. That's going to be like that outermost point of the sock. So I'm going to put that in here. Pharmacy unit, I'm guessing is probably going to be a pill. We already had drug up here. Pharmacy item, pharmacy, yeah, pharmacy unit, pharmacy item. Pill being these little guys here that you might take, part of your medicine, maybe type of part of, well, the drug that you're taking could be pills, right? You got a prescription for pills from somebody. Mongolia is located in Asia and moves swiftly. What is this? Ray gun sound is going to be a zap. A pilot is in the cockpit. Store events are probably sales. And we're going to zip. And we're going to move very swiftly. Okay, there you go. Anyways, thanks for watching if you're watching this after. I'm going to come back later tonight. I'm going to do another crossword. Hopefully there's going to be more people. Otherwise, that one might be a really short one too. But please come out and participate. Actually, if you prefer the later streams, let me know in the comments. Because if people prefer the later time, I would much prefer doing the later streams. It would be a lot better for me. But anyways, yeah, so let me know if you prefer later streams. Just put them in the comments. You can also type it in Telegram as well, too. I see everything better on Telegram. I'm not that good at checking things on Facebook, but Telegram, I definitely see your messages. Anyways, yeah, so if you enjoyed the stream, obviously give this video a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to the channel or following me on Facebook as well so you don't miss any future streams. Also keep an eye on my Telegram group because that's probably the best place where I advertise what's going on and things like that. So I'm the best communicator on Telegram. If you do need help, feel free to send me a message. If you do send me a message though, please say more than just hello or hi or how are you, because I do receive a lot of spam. And so because of that, I tend not to respond to messages when people are just like, hey, how's it going? So you have to give me a little bit more information to basically prove that you're not a scammer or a bot, and I will respond to you. Also too, right now in conversation classes, I am discussing, what am I discussing? I'm talking about so many different articles lately. I am discussing, we're talking about the cost of streaming. There we go. We can see it. We're talking about the cost of streaming right now in conversation classes. I'm so all over the place because I tend to do so many different things with different students. It is really hard for me to stay on task of what's what. But conversation classes. So if you would like to book a conversation class, you're welcome to do that. The video of me reading the article is up on YouTube, so you can check that out and check out the vocabulary, the pronunciation, and things like that. So I talked about that in depth. I will probably also do a live tomorrow with looking at a part 3 task related to the cost of streaming article. So that's going to be good. About part 3 C1 Advanced. About a Part 3, C1 Advanced, B2 First Style Speaking task. That is my goal. Anyways, or maybe not when nobody shows up, but that's fine. I will figure out good timing for this sort of thing. It's always hard because I know we all are in different parts of the world. All right, anyways, hopefully I will see more people tonight, and I hope you enjoyed this video if you're watching this afterwards, and I hope you find it very informative. Anyways, have a good one, everybody. Bye.